Today we're working on finding the area of compound shapes, and so in the very first video I talked through how to break compound shapes up into basic shapes. We talked about the basic shapes being rectangle, triangle, trapezoid, parallelogram, those shapes that we already have formulas for, and then finding the area of each of them and adding them together to get the area of a compound shape. On the inside, we're not only going to be finding area, we're also going to be talking about perimeter, because that's just a good review skill for us when we're looking at these compound shapes, to not only be able to find their area, but also be able to find their perimeter. And so when we open up, I do have some steps listed at the top for us. It says calculating area of compound shapes. Step number 1, find the missing lengths. So we have this shape here. It's technically a pentagon. It's a 5-sided polygon, and it's first asking us to find any missing lengths. And so right now we are missing this length and this length. I'm just going to give those to you because technically they should have been written on here already. I'm going to give those to you as 7 and 7. So there technically are no missing lengths to find at this point in time. You wouldn't have been able to find 7 and 7 on your own. Then it says divide the shape into known shapes, rectangle, triangle, trapezoid. And so I'm going to do that by drawing a line right here. And when I do that, I have a rectangle and a triangle. And I'm going to find the area of the rectangle first. The area of a rectangle is length times width. So area equals length times width. In this case, that is 13 times 8. And I'm going to use my calculator to help me here. 13 times 8 is 104. So this shape has an area of 104. I also have to find the area of my triangle. In order to find the area of my triangle, I have to do the area formula is 1/2 base times height, or base times height divided by 2, depending on how you decide to do that. And so in this case, my base of my triangle and my height have to be perpendicular, so I'm going to draw a dotted line here. If this side is 8, then this side of my rectangle is also 8. And I need to figure out what this length is. And in order to figure out what this length is, we can use what we know up here about this being 19. If this is 19, and from here to here, if this side is 13, then this side is 13. So from here to here is 13. 19 minus 13 will give me how tall this shape is right here. That will give me the length from here to the tip of the triangle. So 19 minus 13 is 6. So from here to here is 6. That means that our height is 6. So really this triangle is kind of turned on its side. If we were looking at it here, here is my base and here is my height. Height and base are always perpendicular to one another. And so for my formula, I'm going to do 1/2 6 times 8, or 6 times 8 divided by 2. 6 times 8 is 48, divided by 2 is 24. And so the area of my triangle is 24. Step number 3, after we find the area of each individual shape, my rectangle and my triangle's area is 24 total. Step 4, add the areas together to find the total. So I'm going to do 104 plus 24, and when I do that, I get 128. So my total area here is 128 inches. I don't forget a label. Inches squared, area square, we always square that label. For perimeter, we just need to add up all our sides. In this case, don't let the 19 fool you. 19 is not a side length. 19 is from tip to tip, like from one side to the other, but it's not an actual side length. This is 13, so I'm going to put 13 here. And I'm going to put a little dot where I start. I've got 13 plus 8 plus 13 plus 7 plus 7. Also, never ever add the inside lines that we draw. When we talk about perimeter, we're talking about adding up the outside edges. So 13 plus 8 plus 13 plus 7 plus 7. We never add the inside lengths. And so Again, I'm going to pull out my calculator to help me. And when I do that, I'm getting a perimeter of 48 inches. 13 plus 8 plus 13 plus 7 plus 7 is equal to 48 inches. Don't forget a label. There is my perimeter. 48 inches, and my area is 128 inches squared.